I'm so excited to see you tonight.
First date, baby. First date, I can't wait. First date.
Hello, and welcome to another episode of First Date with me as your host, Lauren Compton. My guest today is a singer-songwriter. He's Grammy nominated. His new album is called Mood Swings. I know a little bit about those. And you can catch him on tour now. Give it up for Marcus King.
Hello.
Thank you for coming on my show.
Absolutely.
You just flew in today. How are you feeling?
Feeling good. A little tired. Got some coffee. It'll bring me back.
That'll cheer you up.
Yeah.
So I guess before we get started, I have appetizer questions, main course, desserts. So we're going to find out all the things
I love it.
about dating. Here are some appetizer questions. What is your love life like?
So I'm married. I've been married since last February.
Okay.
So going
Congratulations.
on. Thank you. A little bit over a year.
Uh-huh.
Yeah. So we're just still figuring out that married life. But
Yeah.
that's where I'm at.
Well, how'd you guys meet?
I met Briley. It was like the first tour back after the pandemic, and she came to my show in Charlotte, and she tagged me in an Instagram post, so I slid in her DMs. I sent her a couple fire emojis, and I was pretty new on the dating scene at that time.
Yeah.
I just gotten out of a long-term relationship, and
So we went the fire emoji.
yeah, we went
DM.
fire emoji.
That was the choice.
Yeah.
Okay. Well, it worked.
Yeah, I was pretty fresh off like the dating app scene, and like that was a train wreck for me and just no good. And anyway, yeah, I met her like the day after I stopped doing hard drugs. So I was just like, I was a mess, and she didn't really judge me for that. And she came back after the gig in Raleigh, and we just clicked.
Yeah. So were you expecting this to like whirlwind into the rest of your life?
No, not at all. Not at all. And she was so just like authoritative, and just like, she's like 100 pounds, but she's got attitude.
Spice.
She's got an attitude problem. you know?
Okay.
And she put me in my place real quick. And I was like, I want to fly you to LA. I'm doing a record out here. And she's like, you got to go get an STI screening. And I was like,
You do kind of look like you might.
yeah. I give that off.
It's better to be safe,
So I said, you got it. I went straight to a Planned Parenthood. It was the only place that I could think that was going to get me the results as fast as I needed them. And I
You're
was
like, I'll go get screened, but I
Yeah.
don't want to wait very long.
yeah. So anyway, they said, if you don't hear from us, that's good news.
Mm-hmm.
And so I called them Monday morning and was like, and I left a message, and they called me back and left me a voicemail and said like, hey, you're all good, all clear. And I was like, great. I saved the voicemail. I sent it to her, and then she flew to LA.
Well, that's nice.
Yeah.
You kind of like followed protocol. That's great.
Yeah, it's pretty funny, but I really respected that about her.
Yeah.
And, that was our third date, was at Shangri-La, working with Rick Rubin on this record.
Wow.
Yeah, it was bizarre.
That sounds like a pretty cool little run, though.
Yeah,
How old are you?
I'm 28.
28 years old. So you got married when you were 27. Before that, what was the longest relationship you had?
4 years.
Oh, that's quite a long time. Mm-hmm. What happened?
Well, I mean, she's a sweet girl, but,
Fuck her?
she really wanted to live in like a tropical place, and
Oh, was she a hippie?
yeah, a little bit.
Okay.
Yeah, so I think she still lives in Bali.
Once they do ayahuasca.
Yeah,
They're gone.
She ended up doing a similar thing in Maui. It's where they like burn the holes.
And the frog poison?
Yeah, she did that.
Yeah.
And she came back and was like, I don't know if this is.
Oh my God.
Then she went to Bali, and I don't know. It just kind of
She's
fell
like,
apart.
Mercury's in retrograde. The moon's not aligning. I'm not sure this is going to work. The tree spoke to me.
Right.
Yeah.
And I actually broke up with her, and then it was one of those like, it was a really toxic relationship, really codependent, and a lot of substance abuse on both parties, and just kind of went round
That
and
sounds
round.
fun.
It was fun.
Until she
Yeah.
felt like Venus wasn't aligning with Saturn anymore.
Yeah, or whatever it is. Yeah. But, we kind of broke the cycle. And then I went on like the dating app like journey, and I hated that. So
We went fire emoji.
And it all worked out. Yeah.
All right. Do you have any fetishes?
Fetishes. Let's see. Not really. No.
Foot fetish?
No. Not
Nipple
a foot
clamps?
guy. Not into nipple clamps, really. No.
Hanging from hooks?
No hooks. I'm
Bondage?
No.
Whipping?
Maybe if it's done right. Yeah.
Okay. I had to get something.
Yeah.
You look like a naughty boy.
Oh yeah. But I'm pretty white bread. But I like to.
Yeah.
I'm open to whatever.
Do you think sex is better with the lights on or off?
On.
Okay.
Yeah.
Full blast?
I don't want to fuck in a Kmart, but like, I want to see what's going on. You know what I mean?
Yeah. What kind of music do you like to listen to when you have sex?
My wife can't take it serious if there's music playing.
Really?
She feels like I'm trying to seduce her too much.
Okay.
So as of late, it's not been any music playing in the house.
Just
but
silent?
like, yeah, usually it's like Forensic Files on in the background.
Nice.
Or something like that.
Yeah. Not shocking. Have you ever had sex to your own music?
Not on purpose, but it's
Did it
happened.
just come on the radio?
Yeah, it's happened before, and that's a weird feeling. I wouldn't recommend it. Well, I'd recommend everybody else to have sex to my music, but
Yeah.
not mine, not me.
Would you, if you were single, would you date the hawk to a girl?
Yes. Yeah, I would. Yep.
She's hot. I
Yes.
hope we find her.
She is.
She
Yeah.
deleted all of her social media accounts, and I also want to talk to her. If you're out there,
Hawk to a girl, please.
come give me a hawk to a. What's your favorite era?
Favorite era?
Yeah.
Like,
20s, 30s.
I really like that, like late 60s, like counterculture movement. There was so much going on, and there was so
Peace
much.
and love.
Yeah, that, but also like the music at the time, and just like the race barriers being broken, like musically especially. I was just really into that, like Muscle Shoals sound down in Alabama. You know?
Yeah. Who's your favorite band or musical artist of all time?
That's a tough one. Off the top of my head, Dwayne Allman probably. Dwayne Allman was a real stud, and he was just really tenacious. And he died when he was 24, and he got a lot of shit done before he passed.
I don't even know who that is.
So he founded the Allman Brothers band with his brother Greg Allman, and Greg Allman was cool as shit. Like dated, like married Cher in the 70s, and wore a purple velvet suit.
Yeah.
Just really cool dudes.
But I don't know any of those people.
I'll send you some music.
Okay. I would love
I'll
that.
make you a playlist.
That'd be so nice. Kind of like in high school when you would make someone a CD. Oh my gosh. When someone would make me a CD,
Yep.
I was like, we were married.
Yeah, I saw that happen a lot. I did not.
You never did that?
No, and nobody ever did it for me. I didn't have a lot of luck in high school.
Really? Well, you were probably a musician. You were getting beat up.
Well, I always had a good bit of size on my, classmates, and they didn't mess with me physically, but emotionally.
God, those fuckers.
I know, kids are the worst.
Mean.
Yeah, they're terrible.
They are terrible. Sometimes they don't get any better as they grow into adults.
That's true. They kind of stay the same.
Yeah. Let's get into our main course questions. What was dating like in high school?
I remember going on a few dates. I had a real thing for like girls who were like freshly off of or like using like opioids.
Oh.
So that was kind of a pattern that I repeated. And I was seeing this girl that was way too old for me. She was like 25 and I was like 17.
She was your drug dealer.
No, I wasn't doing opioids.
You just like people who were doing opioids.
I don't know what it was. I just had a thing for chicks that like had that like heroin chic. So that's what I was kind of into.
Like skinny? Like it was more like the look too? Because usually they're like skeletal.
Well, I mean, it wasn't really the skeletal thing because
It was the incoherent thing?
not the incoherence either. Just, I don't know, there was a brokenness in them that I kind of recognized.
Yeah.
Even though I didn't abuse opioids, I mean, I abused everything
You
else.
didn't need to. You were just broken naturally.
Yeah, the
So you
trauma
need-
did it for me. So, but yeah, this one girl, I took her on a date and she like fell asleep in the car, and I was trying to take her home, and I was like, "Where's your house?" And she's like, asleep, and she like, was really just,
Out of it?
yeah.
Yeah, opioids will do that to you. What do you think is the worst thing that could happen on a first date?
I mean, them falling asleep is pretty bad.
Was that a first date?
That was a first and only, yeah.
Dang.
And we worked together at Mellow
She got
Mushroom.
a good nap time in with you.
Yeah, I guess she felt comfortable enough to go to sleep around me. But yeah, I mean, I went on a first date one time with this girl, and I actually found out recently that she passed away. But
Oh.
I was 16. I took her out on a date, and then I didn't hear from her for a long time. And then she finally reached out, and I was like, "Oh my gosh, hey, it's so good to hear from you. What's been going on? I haven't heard from you in so long." She was like, "Oh, I'm good. I was hoping I could buy some pot off of you." And I was like, "Oh yeah, sure." So I still sold her some pot, but I
Yeah.
thought she wanted to rekindle that spark.
Yeah, and she was just looking for drugs.
No spark.
No
just
spark.
drugs.
Just blunts. I mean, there was a spark if you think about it. It just
Hey,
wasn't for you.
no, not for me.
What's your like go-to breakup? Like when you break up with a girl, do you ghost them? Do you communicate? Do you just stay in the relationship and stick it out?
Now that was my, yeah. I mean, that was my whole thing early on was just, I would just kind of sit around and wait for them to leave, I
Did
wouldn't
your
recommend
behavior
that.
get worse so that it would push them to the edge?
Yep. Subconsciously, I think that was a big part of it. Yeah.
And how do you behave poorly?
I mean, it's all the things that I kind of practice now because I'm like an overly communicative like partner, and I try to be really transparent and really like open with my wife, and just like, whether it has to do with my sobriety or my emotional issues, I try to be like overly communicative. And I think in the past I would just kind of not do that, and then I would just, any attention I could get from any woman, I would not shy away from it.
Right.
So there was a lot of just like emotional, intimacy that would happen.
With
out-
I see.
You know what I mean?
Like flirting, like through text and stuff with other people.
Yeah. If I could get attention, I needed all the validation I could get.
That makes sense. Do you have any icks?
Icks would be, just being rude to a waiter.
Yeah,
I've
that
had
seems to
that.
be a common one.
I've had that happen before. Being rude to a waiter. Heroin addiction. Bring that
We've
up
changed.
again. Yeah.
So we went from liking it to not liking it.
I've grown up. Yeah.
Oh, wow. So what was the shift? When did you decide you didn't like, was it the girl falling asleep in the car?
Well, I think I just grew and, a lot of therapy.
Yeah.
I didn't really want to find somebody with that familiar brokenness. Mm-hmm. But I don't know. I still see, I could probably still be attracted to a heroin addict. I don't know.
There's still something there.
Weight loss journeys can be really challenging. I have tried a ton of different ways to lose weight. I've tried fasting, I've tried working out twice a day, meal plans, meal prepping, healthy eating, and it works for a while, but it doesn't keep that body fat off forever. So now there's a better way with the Real Body program. If you've heard of Ozempic or Wegovy, you've probably heard 3 things. They're effective, but they're expensive, and they're hard to get. That's where Ro comes in. Through Ro, you can access prescription compounded GLP-1s with the same weight loss ingredient as brand name GLP-1s at just a fraction of the cost. Ro has compounded GLP-1s in stock now. You can get it in 1 to 4 days if you qualify, and Ro members have support throughout the process. If eligible for medication, patients have access to their provider on demand for any questions. You can also see if you qualify from the comfort of your own home. Go to ro.co/date. Memberships start at just $99 for your first month. Medication costs are separate. That's ro.co/date. Go to ro.co/safety for black box warning and full safety information. Compounded medication is not required to and does not receive FDA review or approval. Prescription only. You know when you discover a new binge-worthy show or a song that you bump on repeat and you just have to share it with your friends? That's kind of what it feels like when you discover that Mint Mobile offers premium wireless for $15 a month when you purchase a 3-month plan. We use Mint Mobile at YMH Studios, and it's been so easy to use. And we're getting our wireless plan for such a good deal compared to other providers. All plans come with high-speed data and unlimited talk and text delivered on the nation's largest 5G network. To get this new customer offer and your new 3-month premium wireless plan for just $15 a month, go to mintmobile.com/date. That's mintmobile.com/date. Cut your wireless bill to $15 a month at mintmobile.com/date. $45 upfront payment required, equivalent to $15 per month. New customers on first 3-month plan only. Speed slower above 40 gigabytes on unlimited plan. Additional taxes, fees, and restrictions apply. See Mint Mobile for details.
This episode is sponsored by DraftKings. Download the DraftKings Casino app and have your favorite real money casino games right at your fingertips. New customers who use my promo code DATE and play just $1 will receive $100 in casino credits instantly. Choose from over 300 real money games, slots, blackjack, roulette, and live dealer games whenever you want. With more real money games added regularly, DraftKings Casino is changing the game with new ways to play. My favorite game to play is blackjack. DraftKings Casino has awarded over $100 million in jackpot winnings. If DraftKings Casino isn't available in your state yet, check out DraftKings Daily Fantasy app, where you have a shot at winning cash prizes all season long. And rest assured, DraftKings is safe, secure, and reliable. Head to the DraftKings Casino app right now. Sign up using promo code DATE. Play just $1 and instantly receive $100 in casino credits. Plus, come back weekly for your own blockbuster bonus.
Yeah, but I don't have too many icks. I'm pretty easy to please.
What's your guilty pleasure?
Guilty pleasure? Man, I don't have a lot of guilty pleasures. I'm pretty open about all of them. You know? Like,
If you want to do something, you do it.
yeah, all my pleasures are, out in the open.
All right. How long do you date someone until you introduce them to your family?
I do it too fast, and my wife will tell you that. I think like our 3rd date, I was like, my family lives in Greenville and she lived in Charlotte, so I was like, oh yeah, my dad's gonna come up and have lunch with us.
Well, that's nice.
Yeah, I thought
so
it was.
you're kind of casual about it.
Yeah.
There's nothing wrong with that.
It's not like I'm going to take you home and like introduce you, because my family's a little broken and all over the place anyway. So there's no like real moment like that.
Yeah. I feel like if I'm dating someone and I really like you, I want to introduce you to my family as quickly as possible so that I can insert a sense of like entrapment.
Yeah.
So then it's like, well, now you've met my family,
Mm-hmm.
and now we're more serious.
Yep.
So
If someone gets married, you're probably my +1.
yeah.
You're
So
locked
that's
in.
my way of like taking things to the next level. And usually I do that much too quickly too. Have you ever dated someone? I mean, this is kind of a silly question knowing that you like opiate opioid addicts. But like going into a relationship, I'm not even gonna ask you a question. It's so stupid. Of course you like red flags. Is there such a thing as a guy being too nice to a woman?
That's an interesting question. That's a good question because I think you can be too available, too nice, and I fell victim to that many times.
Did you? How?
Oh yeah, I mean, just wearing my heart on my sleeve and just being available at anybody's, beck and call. And if you do that, I feel like people kind of grow tired of you, or they think you're just a doormat.
How do you counter that without playing a game?
It's tough. That's one of the tough questions of dating. It's not something I ever really figured out. I just met my match,
You got lucky.
I did. I mean, I had no game. I sent 2 fire emojis, I had no real strategy. I was just drunk on a tour bus and like
You're like, oh, she's
shooting
hot.
emojis, and I was like, wow, look at her.
Let's see. What is the best quality a woman can have?
Oh, good taste in music, for sure. Good taste in music, and short of that, just an open mind to music, and
Yeah. What is bad taste in music?
I mean, again, it kind of goes back to like the guilty pleasure thing. Like, my wife loves like musicals and shit. So like, if we get in an argument like on a car ride, like she'll put on like the Rent soundtrack because she knows I hate it so much. I hate musicals so much.
Like Broadway musicals?
Yeah,
Can't stand them?
nah, not for me. Or she'll put on like the Grease soundtrack, and I'm like, gritting my teeth.
See the anger in your teeth just now.
Yeah, it's terrible. Like, did you see the Elton John biopic?
No.
I mean, it was okay, but like I
I saw the Freddie Mercury one.
I haven't seen that one yet, but the Elton John one was like a musical.
Yeah.
And I felt trapped when I went to see it in the theater. I like 20 minutes in, this dude starts singing to me, and I got really pissed. Because I thought it was just going to be a proper biopic, and it was not. But she likes musicals, and I can't really get behind that. But like, I don't know. She was a music theater major, so what are you going to do?
Well, I guess, would you ever date a fan?
Ooh, yeah, that got dicey. Like in the Tinder days, that got really weird.
Really?
Yeah, like being on Bumble or Hinge or any of those like horrible places, and I mean, I wasn't really aware of like my status at the time, and being in Nashville, I was just like, hey, whatever. Everybody's doing the dating app thing, I'll do it.
Yeah.
And this girl was like trying to figure out if it was really me or whatever. And she came over and she ended up being way more of a fan than I anticipated, and it was really weird.
Yeah.
No.
Kind of fell all over you a little bit.
Yeah. But also just like wanted to see what my house was like, and like it was just really fucking weird. I felt like I needed to move after that.
What is the best way to meet someone?
Best way to meet somebody. These are all really great questions.
Thank you.
I mean, good old fashioned bar. Never go wrong, And I still enjoy dive bars. I mean, I don't drink anymore, but I like to go out and shoot some pool. Sometimes you meet somebody like that. Luckily, I don't have to meet anybody, thank God. I hated dating so much.
Who should pay on a first date?
I mean, I'm a good Southern boy. I believe the man should pay, but, to each their own.
Yeah. And what is your idea of a great first date? Like, where would you go? What would you do?
I like the movies. I really do.
Really? I always feel like the movies is like a 50-50 shot. Because you can't talk during a movie.
Right. It's a good cop-out, like, if there's not a lot of good conversation to be had.
Yeah.
So it is a good second date.
Yeah.
Or maybe if you're married, you go to the movies because you don't really have to sit and talk.
Yeah.
And just enjoy a film. So you don't have to make conversation. But, a nice dinner, maybe a show.
Like a musical?
No musicals. Yeah, but I remember like me and Briley's second date was like we went to this place in Charlotte. She was living there at the time, and I'll just tell you about this because it was a crazy fucking second date, and I didn't think there was going to be another date. She took me to this place called Village Poet, I think it was called, and this really great like singer-songwriter was playing, and we went and watched his set, and then afterwards we went to this like speakeasy bar around the corner, and she had like 5 French 75s,
Oh.
and yeah, like 3 to 5. 3's the limit with those. And anyway, like after that, she like fell in this bush. I had to like help her get out, and then she was just like dancing and like thought shit had just come out by Megan Thee Stallion. So she was like playing that on her phone and dancing in the middle of the street, and she was just like unhinged. And I was like, I just got to get this girl home. I don't have a car here, but my parents live 45 minutes south. Maybe my dad can come pick me up
Wow.
3 in the morning. But you know, I ended up almost getting in a fight with this guy because like she was dancing and just like in the middle of the street, and he was like trying to grab up on her. And I was like, hey man, you know, I'm just trying to get this girl
You're
home.
like, this isn't a strip club.
I'm like, you know, you're having a little too much fun here,
Yeah.
buddy. And he was like really, really angry and wanted to fight me. And I was like, I'm not going to get in a fight over this girl. Not yet. And put her in the car, got her home, and then I was just sitting there figuring out what the hell am I going to do. And she had a great deal of wine at the house, so I was just drinking solo cups of wine, and then I passed out outside on her patio chair.
Oh my gosh.
And she woke up in the morning, and we got breakfast. So, you know,
Wow. Wow. What a date.
yeah,
So she got wasted, so then you got wasted.
I'm never to be outdone. Yeah.
Would you ever date someone on OnlyFans?
Yeah, why not?
Hey, some people don't want to date someone on OnlyFans. They
I don't
feel
know.
like that's just a slut.
What's wrong with that?
I don't think there's anything wrong with that. What's your exit strategy for a terrible first date?
Probably just dissociation. I mean, I'll just kind of check out, just kind of cut the lights out and just get through it.
Just blur it all out.
Yeah, you know, I don't know. I mean, there's bad dates, and you just you learn from bad situations, I guess. But
Yeah.
you know, you just see you later.
Is height a deal breaker for you?
No, I mean, I remember when I was in my dating phase, I went out with this girl a couple times. She was very sweet, and she was like 6 foot something, like a volleyball player, and she was like way taller than me, even with cowboy boots on. I mean, I'm like 6 foot with cowboy boots on,
Yeah.
and she would tower over me. I kind of liked it.
Really?
You know, it was kind of neat. Yeah.
That's cool. A little dominating.
A little bit, yeah. I mean, maybe that's to go back to the fetish thing. Maybe that's one for me,
Yeah. Taller girls.
or just the domination thing.
Yeah.
Slightly. My wife likes to. We always like to role play. Like, people have called her a gold digger online. I'm like, she made more money than me when I met her. She was working at Bank of America. I kind of pulled her down into the scourge of society, where I was kind of lurking around. So we role play that a little bit, but yeah, maybe taller women,
Yeah.
domination a little bit.
What do you think is a key to a good relationship?
It's been said a million times, I'm sure, but communication is the number one.
Yeah.
Hmm.
I guess that's why it's such a good way to end a relationship if you just don't communicate with someone.
I mean, right. I would never recommend it. You know, I feel such guilt for like my past relationships, but they happened for a reason, so I can be in a position now with the woman I love to give her like everything she deserves from a partner.
Yeah.
But I had to kind of learn those lessons. You know.
Have you ever been in a fight over a girl?
Fight over a girl. Man, I just never really saw the point. You
Yeah.
know? never really saw the point in that. If a friend and I were gonna fight over somebody, it's not a very good friend.
Yeah.
Or I wasn't being a very good friend.
Well, I guess we'll go to our dessert question. How did you propose to your wife?
Let's see. So I met her, or the first night I met her in person, not just on Instagram, was at this amphitheater in Raleigh, North Carolina. And, she wanted to go see the stage after everything was cleared off. And that's where we had our first kiss. And she, she left and I got on the bus and left. And it was, I really missed her like right away. I tried to get her to come on the bus and go to DC with me. And she said, the fuck? And anyway, so when I proposed, we were back playing in Raleigh. And I just, had it set up like there was a radio interview at the Red Hat Amphitheater and all this and that, and just, lured her over there. And when we got on the stage where we'd first kissed, I got down and asked her.
Oh, that's so cute.
Yeah, I thought so. But, I had a really shitty tour manager at the time, and he did not really approve of my relationship because he would like to kind of cling on to me and like use it as an opportunity to meet women, I think.
Oh.
He was just kind of a sucky.
Well, that's kind of selfish and shitty.
Yeah, he was not, he was not a great tour manager, but he was also, I don't think, the best person. But he'll figure it out. He's a young guy. But I wish him all the best. But, I remember we were in Athens, Georgia, and we were going from Athens to Charlotte, and that's where I was going to pick up the ring. So when we got to Raleigh, I could ask her to marry me. Mm-hmm. Excuse me. And while we were in Athens, Briley was taking a nap in my bunk on the bus, and this tour manager was in the back talking to the band, and the band was like, why are we going to Charlotte for the day off? Like, most of us live in Greenville, which is like an hour south of Charlotte. And he's like, oh, because Marcus is a fucking dumbass. He's got to pick up the ring, propose to this stupid bitch, and Briley's laying in the bed and heard all of it.
Oh my gosh.
So he blew the surprise.
What a dickhead.
I know, yeah.
I hope you fired him shortly after that.
Yeah, he was fired shortly thereafter.
Man.
Yeah.
Is there any advice that you would give anyone when it comes to like tough times in a relationship? Any advice you would give people?
Man, these are all such great questions.
Makes you really think about dating, huh?
Yeah. And how I never want to do it again.
Thank you.
Yeah, I think, yeah, it's a compliment. I think, if you're going through tough times with your spouse, just, I don't know, you just like, with my wife, I got to kind of figure out, like, do you need space right now, or do you want me to be around? I kind of got to figure out, like, it goes back to communication. Mm-hmm. Like, do you need space? I'll give you that. Or do you want me to come in? And, really just not saying anything hurtful, trying not to be too volatile.
Yeah.
It's fucking tough.
It is. Sometimes space is good, though. Like, weekends, like maybe if you have to travel somewhere or go do something, like even just a few days can like really spark things back up and make you miss someone and realize that.
Mm-hmm.
Kind of always noticed that myself. Well, is there anything else that you would like to share or say?
Yeah, I don't know.
You can plug your socials as well.
Oh, sure. See if I remember them. MarcusKingOfficial.com. I know that one.
Okay. Is that your website?
That's my website.
Okay.
Yep,
We can find all your info there.
Mm-hmm.
Great.
Go there for all tour dates and, a lot of big shows coming up. Hope to see y'all on the road. And
Cool.
hope to come back for a second date.
Yeah, of course. I'd love to have you. Thank you for coming on. Thank you guys so much for watching. We'll see you next time.
First date, baby.
Are you really drinking a glass of milk with dinner?
First date, I can't wait.
You told your mom about